So because they call us the Great Satan, I don't think we are the Great Satan.
Whew, that's good news. And because we're not the Great Satan, at least now we can thank God that our leaders are sober-minded, mature, and articulate.
And they say, sir, they're in Iranian airspace. And I say, oh, all of a sudden you see that dive. They start diving, and sir, and you see him 30,000, 20,000. Boy, I said, that was a lot. They went down fast to aim it. And
what's he talking about?
We're ruled by idiots, but that doesn't make us all idiots, does it?
I'm not saying you're an idiot. If you say, I don't know why we're doing it when Iran has never attacked us. Bull, you don't know what you're talking about.
Welcome back to Bizarro World and the Disturbing Illusion. Let's just go ahead and jump into this. Donald Trump admitted in the Oval Office that prior to waging war with Iran, he had talked to another president who told him, I wish I did it. Do you think he's telling the truth? And if he is, what president do you think said that?
I bet Bill Clinton.
Something very interesting that you said twice today. That you talked to another former president about the Iran strikes. Was it George W. Bush?
no,
Was it Bill Clinton?
I don't want to say. Because a member of a
Barack
party,
Obama.
a member of a party,
Joe,
and they have Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, but it's somebody that happens to like me, and I like that person who's a smart person. But that person said, I wish I did it. But I don't want to get into who.
Okay.
Maybe, hey,
I have a guess.
you know what? Yeah, I think you probably know. And maybe he'd be proud. And I could even ask him that, would you like me to reveal your name to Peter at Fox? Well, at least you have high ratings. Your ratings are through the roof, Peter. Congratulations.
I like this person, and he said, I wish I did it. The only problem is they couldn't have done it because they weren't allowed to do it then. See, this is all sequential, and presidents aren't leaders. They're not the rulers of the free world. They're the puppet rulers of the free world, the figurehead puppets of the Ziobanksters and the corporate elitists who do pull their chain, fund their campaigns, and use presidents to lead us off to war. And besides all that, what makes this really alarming is that this old man right here, this old puppet, is a 5-year-old kid in an old man's body, and he demonstrates the mental acuity of a 5-year-old kid. Listen to what he says right.
That makes a lot of sense because for MK Ultra, they think he went through the Jesuit MK Ultra training. Like every culture has their own MK Ultra. How they MK Monarch, it's how they groom these people. They're all being raped and abused as children in incestual family relationships. I've listened to all the horror stories.
Says right here as he pulls a model of the B-2 stealth bomber onto the desk resolute in the Oval Office. See if you can detect any errors about the weapon's payload that this plane is capable of hauling. And you think if anybody would know the specs, it'd be the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief.
That's not who I would bet my money on.
Of the armed forces.
Gorgeous B-2 bombers. Give me that bomber, Andrew. Let me just hug that little sucker. Give me that bomber over there. Thank you. You knew immediately which one. This looks small, but in person it's very big. The only plane capable of carrying a 200,000-pound bomb, so I don't know how they do it. It's very sleek and nice.
200,000-pound bomb. Just let that sink in for a second. 200,000 pounds?
Yes, but it carries a lot of weapons and there's a lot of bombs. But had I not sent this incredible machine times numerous others,
it's the Black Dorito,
hit Iran at midnight with no moon, dead dark, every single bomb was dropped right down the chute that it was supposed to hit. How they do it, who knows? Nobody else can figure it. No other country can do it. No other country has our military or even close. And I think we've probably proven that.
Now, we all know that he's talking about the military campaign labeled Operation Midnight Hammer. And let me remind you exactly what Trump said after they dropped those bombs from those B-2s. Quote, Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. And even more recently in February 2026, he said, quote, that is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. So if you totally obliterated Iran's nuclear program, why would you have to start this war? And why would you tell the American people that you feel like they've got a nuclear weapon? And wouldn't you know, the payload of a B-2 stealth bomber is 40,000 pounds. And in some cases, when they take away some of the fuel, they can carry 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators weighing 30,000 pounds each for a maximum of 60,000 pounds, not a 200,000 pound payload. I mean, Commander-in-Chief, and facts like this kind of matter, at least to everybody else, maybe not to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. You don't mind if I keep this here, do you? Isn't that a beautiful thing? You know, you look at it, and I said, it's a piece of art, but how can it be effective? It's so stealth. Think of it. Peter, 1 a.m.
Hey, it's Ashley with 4 Patriots. We're in a bit of trouble. To put it plainly, we need to clear out some space in our warehouse fast. We recently received a massive shipment of survival food, and right now our shelves are overflowing. But our pain is your gain. To clear out our backlog, we're authorizing a special deal. Buy 1 72-hour survival food kit, get 2 for free. You heard that right. You're getting 3 kits, but only paying for 1. That's enough food for you and 2 loved ones to survive a long weekend, or more than a week's worth of meals for you, all for the price of...
Look at this guy's face right here. Oh, God, I love this guy. This guy's great. And this guy right here is just on his phone going, oh, God, another Trump diatribe, making stuff up, pulling stuff out of his ass.
And they say, sir, they're in Iranian airspace. And I say, oh, and I'm watching it from...
Peter's like, oh, here goes Grandpa again at Thanksgiving dinner, just telling tall tales, and everybody knows he's lying.
But they're very smart people, including some good generals, real generals, not television generals. And
Like Heggs.
all of a sudden you see that dive, they start diving, and sure, and you see him 30,000, 20,000. Boy, I said, that was a lot. They went down fast to aim it. And they know they're coming.
Bear is having an awesome day. I have a bunch of war updates for you. Needless to say, it's embarrassing. It's pathetic. I don't have enough negative descriptors to really, truly get across to you how terrible this has been. But basically, we have the most evil regime we've ever seen, and they also happen to be at the same time the most incompetent regime you've ever seen. Okay? So we're going to get into all of it. Trump is effectively begging for help as Iran pummels the axis of Epstein, and missiles continue to pound Tel Aviv day after day. We have the goons are completely falling apart as they desperately try to defend Trump's war. We have the Netanyahu question, y'all. We're going to get into that. Is Netanyahu dead or alive? There's a huge raging debate on social media over this. We'll also get to Tucker Carlson is saying that he caught the CIA spying on him and that Trump is likely to charge him with crimes. Stop and think about that. A guy who was, to the president 7 seconds ago, and it looks like they may be targeting him for crimes.
Of course they're targeting
later
Trump.
on, we have micro-penis allegations against one of the large MAGA TV hosts. And we also have, this is truly a nightmare scenario, where we have China completely surrounding Taiwan, North Korea fire.
What did you think was going to happen?
It's all days happen. The global, if you remember, advertise, donate, guys, by the axis of Epstein, the Israel and U.S., the cost has surpassed $20 billion.
What?
So the official number, and this was, this was posted, so it's probably up way more now, right? But we're probably at like $23 billion already blown. This illegal and offensive war. Just to put that in perspective for you, that is free school breakfast and free school lunch for every kid in America for an entire, and then everybody else cleans it up. How about other countries find a way to make it so oil can get through the Strait of Hormuz? How about it's not on me and it's on you? That's what he's doing here. Okay, but if that wasn't enough, you ready for this? Bro, he does it again. He comes out and says, many countries, especially those who are affected by Iran's attempted closure of the Hormuz Strait, will be sending warships in conjunction with the United States of America to keep the strait open and safe. We have already destroyed 100% of Iran's military capability. But it's easy for them to send a drone or two, drop a...
They're done, right? Why don't we... We got to keep going. We destroyed everything. Stupid.
Mine or deliver a close-range mission.
It's painfully hard.
Missile somewhere along or in this waterway, no matter how badly defeated they are. Hopefully, China, France, Japan, South Korea, the UK, and others that are affected by the artificial constraint will send ships to the area so that Hormuz Strait will no longer be a threat by a nation that has been totally decapitated.
Totally.
Wait, so they're destroyed, but they're still able to close the strait? That doesn't make sense. In the meantime, the United States will be bombing the hell out of the shoreline and continually shooting Iranian boats and ships out of the water. One way or the other, we will soon get the Hormuz Strait open, safe, and free. Okay, so this is the stupidest thing I've ever in my life. First of all, Chinese ships are already able to pass, as are Iranian ships. They're letting them through because they are their ally, right? So why would China send that? China's on the other side of this war, you fucking dipshit, right? Second of all, like, he's saying this is the coalition of the willing. For those of you who are old enough to remember the war in Iraq, what happened was Bush was like, oh, yeah, we got this coalition of the willing in order to fight in Iraq with us. And then it was like a bunch of countries that, like, you know, we bribed to come in, countries, developing countries. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, what the fuck they are. They're just going along with the superpower to try to get some favors down the road. Soldiers are dying, innocent